dear friends. I was born with cerebral palsy, and it was considered as a severely dreaded ailment at that time. Rather, in medical terms, I would not be able to do anything on my own without assistance. I was born like that. We used to stay in a place called Bindumadhav. And my parents came to know about my physical shortcomings at the age of 2. Till then, they thought I was not able to, I was growing slow. Then, with some worry in their mind, they wanted me to go to school and just learn to read and write. And they were all the time worried about me, what would happen after us and all those things. I was not able to walk, I was not able to talk till the age of 8. I had to be carried on the shoulder to the school. At that time, my innocence, I used to enjoy going to school on somebody's shoulder. Other children used to walk, and I used to be on the horse ride. And I studied in Marathi medium school because the school was very near to my house. My parents did not have much expectations from me, as suggested by some of the doctors at that time, that maybe I may not be able to pursue much of education. Because cerebral palsy is a brain affected disease. There is the cerebrum which controls the body movements, and in my case, it was not functioning properly. So it so happened that after I was in standard 3, my father had to shift his location from Dombivli to Santa Cruz. And again at Santa Cruz, there was no Marathi medium school nearby our residence. So I was put in an English medium school from standard 1 again. I was eldest in the class, but because I was short in height, nobody could understand my age. And I was not willing to tell also. So I wanted to be just like others. I wanted to be like my friends. I wanted to do all the things which my friends used to do. One incident to begin with, I want to share with my friends. I wanted to play like my other friends, but they would not take me to play in their team. The reason was they would always feel I might fall and I might get hurt. Because I used to fall around 25 times in a day, minimum. I would try to walk, I would fall, I would try to run was not possible at that time, but I used to fall. So they would, that was somewhere at the age of 7 or 8, they would ask me to stand on the ground, besides the ground, and see them playing. But that was not giving me enough pleasure. I wanted to be like them. I also wanted to play. But at that moment, everybody thought it is just not possible. When the ball used to come out of the ground, I used to try to reach the ball as early as possible and return the ball to them. I used to throw the ball and the ball would go in any direction. And that was expected of me. But friends, in a few months and year of time, I kept on requesting them to please allow me to be in the team sometime. Let me play like them. They never agreed. They thought it is not possible even for. But they used to love me. They all used to love me. Rather, they used to hold my hand and take me from one place to another place at one point of time. And then what options I had about? I used to take the ball home and I would kick the ball against the wall. I used to play football with the wall. And luckily, the wall did not object me playing football with it. It used to pass the ball back to me. And it was pleasure for me. Then I started drawing some points and some circles on the wall and was trying to hit the ball with my leg to exactly hit the ball would hit the point. I could not succeed for several months, but slowly it reached near the point. And a time came when I could hit the ball exactly on the ground point. But this was not known to any of my friends, and neither they were interested in knowing this. It was my personal game. But I used to request them to please consider me in their team sometime so that I'll get more pleasure playing with them. But friends, a day came when somebody said, because Bindu is regularly and continuously requesting us, so we should give him a chance to play. So one day they told me to play a centre back game in the football. By the time I had learned to kick the ball, but it was secret. And the first day when I played, I got a chance a few many times to kick the ball beyond the center. And they were very happy to see that I have got so much of strength in my legs. I had told them before, but that time they didn't believe me. And they had reasons not to believe me. But when they actually saw, they agreed that he has some potentials. So, first day they were happy with my centre back game. But I was not too satisfied with myself. I wanted to play more. I wanted to be more important in the team. And I patiently waited for some opportunity to come someday. And God brought that opportunity sometime. And one of our good coach told me, you are not bad. You are not as bad as we thought you were. You play quite well and you have got a lot of energy. My difficulty was, because of the tremors in my all the part of the body all the time, I was not able to do delicate things. For example, drinking a glass of water also was very difficult for me. But I had strength, so I could move the table from one side to another side. I could kick the ball as strong as somebody else. So my words never convinced them, but my act sometimes made them feel they were rather thinking differently from me. So once I got a chance to play center forward, and I used to run as fast as anybody else. My running was quite fast, but I used to fall, and I used to run crooked. When I used to run crooked, the opponents in my team used to get confused. I used to dodge the ball, and because of my body disbehavior, you can say, the opponents would get confused. And further, it became an advantage for me. My coach told me it's a great advantage for you because they don't understand which side you are taking the ball and which side you are going to run. So, good. I could encash on this opportunity a little further and I started playing well. It's all because of my good friends, my parents, who tolerated my slow growth and gave me opportunity to, equal opportunity rather, to be with them, my friends. And a day came when I started playing well, and they also started considering me to play in almost all the games. So, dear friends, the things which seemed just impossible initially, with a little positive mind and a little more effort, we can make it possible. These things a normal bodied person may not understand, but this message is especially for those who are differently enabled. Once you call yourself differently enabled, means not that you have got zero potentials. You have got potentials. Only thing, you are not able to perform in the exact format that the others want you to perform. I started playing for my school, and my school gave me opportunity to play. And because of my good running and my good game, I was considered slowly as an important player. It was a great achievement for me. I never thought I could convince somebody on this platform that I got a chance to play. Yeah. The second incident I just want to narrate you is my friends in some months of May and June, when the schools are closed, they took up to learning cycle. As my desires, I also wanted to learn cycle like my friends. I told my daddy I want to learn cycle. My daddy would always be surprised for everything that I request him. He said, Bindu, how you will drive? You will fall. You will get your 3 support wheel cycles. I said, Daddy, no, let me learn. So my daddy, in the late evenings, started teaching me cycle. Nearly for a month or so, but I could not learn. These two poor gentlemen used to run behind me, and every few steps ahead, I used to fall. Then I told my daddy not to bother much. I will learn on my own. I didn't want to trouble my parents or my brother too much. Then I started driving the cycle and falling. Driving the cycle and falling a number of times in a day. I used to fall at least 25 times a day, either on the cycle or on the football ground, whatever it is. And every evening my daddy used to sit with a ointment, putting spots on my wound. I would be rather looking very different in the late evening with spots on me. And this went on for so many years. And my falling never bothered me, and I was not frightened at all. It took 5 years for me to learn bicycle. But sir, finally I learned. Yeah. And in one of the small competition in our Air India colony, I also stood first. So that was no less than an Olympic game for me. I felt I have won the whole nation. I have done a great job, and that multiplied my confidence each time. And then further than then, I drove my cycle for 20 years further, regularly. So something that seemed not possible at all became possible. So my confidence slowly increased. I decided not to give up. I decided this life is mine and I have to lead the way that best fits me. It was not possible to take too much of advice from others because they could not understand the exact of me. Even my parents were normal bodied person. So to explain the exact difficulty was always difficult for me. I knew whatever I wanted to do, I had to put 100 times efforts more than the others. And I had some results in front of me that I could get success. So each time I tried very hard only with the mind that I will succeed one day. And I succeeded also. Today, I have retired from Air India as manager finance. Education was always hurdle because I was not able to write. Holding a pencil and writing was very difficult for me. My pencil would fall down when I was writing, and my writing was illegible and slow. I was permitted to take a writer's assistance in all my exams. After completion of my 10th standard with a writer, I had secured first class. My family doctor told my parents that don't take him on higher education. We will put him on a alternate learning and alternate technical learning. For example, making shoes, making flowers, making baskets after 10th standard. I was upset with the doctor. I always felt in my childhood that education will put me on a better platform, and I should rather secure more education than somebody else. I need to. But this doctor was saying he cannot pursue more education, and my parents were convinced. Then I had to tell my parents, no, I am going to go against the doctor. I don't want to agree with her. So my parents again went to the doctor and told him that Bindu is not willing to take up the advice. The doctor said, okay, no problem, let him do what he wants to do, and after a few months, he is definitely going to give it up. He cannot pursue education further, according to the doctor. I was upset with the doctor and I stopped taking medicines from her. I was angry. I wanted to do what my friends do. So my daddy sent me to a commerce college. where I completed my BCom with taking writer's assistance. In the process, I discovered that my listening abilities are quite good, though I cannot make notes. I cannot write, but my listening and memorizing or keeping it in my mind is quite good. I used to go and appear for the exam directly and dictate the whole paper to the writer. And I was getting good marks also. My other friends had disadvantage because they were busy in taking down the notes and they were not able to concentrate on the subject. At that time I had good memory in the sense, whenever they used to write a paragraph on a particular subject and would miss a few lines, they would call me and read out the paragraph to me, and I was able to tell them what is the missing line. This was probably a God-given advantage to me. And my exams went quite well, and I could do my BCom without much difficulties. After that, I did my MBA, and I also did my ICWAI, intern. There were difficulties at every step. But there were good people, good guidance, mentors, good bosses in Air India. I joined Air India after my graduation, but I still wanted to study further. So I studied my MBA after joining Air India. My bosses gave me a lot of support and cooperation. They gave me equal opportunity to grow, rather a little more than the equal opportunity to grow. And in third year BCom, I had taken a computer management in as my one of the subject, and I did quite well in that subject because there was no writing. It was only operating the computer, and with my two fingers, I learned to operate computers also. So when I joined Air India in the year 1988, by the grace of God, there came new computers in our offices for the first time. So it was in-house found out that not many people know to operate computer. So I had an advantage over many others, and I was given an opportunity to train my colleagues to operate the computers. So this is what happened when I joined Air India. I had a medical test to clear, and that time doctors said, since you are not able to write, how can we utilize your skill sets? Yes, that was a problem. I cannot write, is true. So they sent me to a neurosurgeon for a final opinion rather. And the neurosurgeon told me to draw a circle. Just draw a circle. And there were two pencils well sharpened, kept on the table with a blank sheet of paper. And when I picked up the pencil for the first time, it fell down and the pencil broke. I picked up the second one, and the doctor was observing me. The kind of tremors that I had in me, he was observing me. And I tried to draw a circle. That circle would never become a circle. It looked everything else but not a circle. So the doctor said, are you a little nervous because I am sitting in front of you? So I'll go to another room and you finish your work and bring it to me. So I took few more papers, to draw a circle. Finally, with one of the best of many, I took it to him and he wrote something on that and he put a paper in an envelope and sealed it and gave it to me. I knew what he had written. According to me, I had failed the test. I came to medical in India and I showed them the letter and they also agreed that yes, what he has said is right. But friends, there is God around us. We may not be able to see Him as we don't have a sight for it. We don't have a brain to understand that there is a supernatural power. And it had to so happen that one of the doctor, out of the panel of 5 or 6, one of the doctor said, why don't we give him a 3 months probation? And check his work and then decide whether he should continue or not. So this was a golden opportunity for me. I am not going to give it up. And I got a chance to work in finance. And then the story continues. As the computers newly came into finance, they wanted somebody who knows computers. So by this happening, my bosses gave me an extension on my probation also and then helped me to get permanent in Air India. After that, for many years, I was on assignments related to computers. And I was even training SAP in Air India. So there are many instances which I will narrate in some of the forthcoming videos, basically to motivate and energize the differently enabled persons or children or parents of the physically challenged children. One of the messages, don't give up. They may be learning differently. They may be learning differently, which according to you is not the right way to learn. True. But then give enough opportunity, give some more time, and you will see miracle works. True. Have faith in God. And if you like my video, please subscribe and also share. It will help me to reach more number of people who need a little motivation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye.